Physical, chemical, and biological processes have been shaping and reshaping the Earth's environment since its infancy 4.5 billion years ago, and humans have been breathing here for only 6 to 7 million years. We thrived within our own traditions and cultures in harmony with Earth throughout time. In recent times, however, humankind has been a driving force of change on the planet. Every day we are changing the world, adapting it to our needs, altering our natural parameters in such a way that even our biology, our animal essence, which are of some kind of complex we stupidly ignore, is suffering the consequences. We are the only species which, instead of adapting to its surroundings, is capable of altering them in order to fit our needs. And this, which has permitted growth and expansion experienced never before by any other species, has turned us into the greatest threat for our planet that we are now changing. Gradually, the world has started becoming smaller. Not in the literal sense, of course, and technology made miles seem like inches, hours seem like seconds. No longer do we exist with Mother Nature as her children. We own her. The modern lifestyle isn't anything we could have imagined. But now, the very nature of our planet, the one of the Earth, is now changing. Sea levels are rising at extreme levels. Animals are disappearing at unimaginable rates. The oceans have become toilets that have started to flush out on the beaches, and soon might even flush us out. When roads pave over forests or dams create lakes where once there were streams, plants and animals lose valuable habitat immediately. People have been deforesting the earth for thousands of years, primarily to clear land for crops or livestock. Around the world, forests are given away to plantations and crops. Logging operations, which provides the world paper and wood products, also fell countless trees each year. Forests are also cut as a result of growing urban sprawl as land is developed for homes. Various organizations working in this field across the country have already started doing their part for the environment through various initiatives.
There was a dying lake in Hyderabad, Nizampet, and again the Wells Fargo was working there, and they invited us to bring back life in the dying lake. And we worked for 18 months, and today you go and see there. They have a lovely jogging track there, and there are birds and butterflies. We have planted a lot of plants around that. All the plants are those plants which attract birds, butterflies, bats and other insects. They're not roses or dahlias or chrysanthemums, but those plants which attract the biodiversity.
Environmental impacts are often not considered in infrastructural development projects. One such example is the Statue of Unity at Ahmedabad.
Statue of Unity actually in a way shows our country is prospering. We are headed towards a more prosperous future. But when you think about the repercussions of a single massive project like that, you will see that there are many underlying factors which do not favor the common person of India. For example, there were many villages which have been dislocated. Deforestation has caused because of that, which all in all weighs down the significance of the overall project. It should balance the scales when you think of India showing its economic prowess over the depressed sector of the country, but in actual reality it does not. We should always try to help build a better infrastructure and overall environment for the betterment of the people of India, rather than going for something exclusive which is only going to be there for vanity.
The loss of the jungles and forests has consequences beyond land biodiversity, affecting the very pillars of life on Earth, because they are responsible for the equatorial rains, and their existence directly affects the water, the climate, and the atmosphere of the earth. Mangrove forests are one of the world's most threatened tropical ecosystems. More than 35% of the world's mangroves are already gone. Clearing of mangroves across the world has reduced their total carbon storage by around 2% or as much as 86 million tons of carbon.
So today we are in Navi Mumbai. Navi Mumbai is basically surrounded by mangroves all over the place. You see mangroves everywhere. And people have been dumping debris and trying to clear mangroves and cut mangroves. And mangroves have suffered extensively rather. You know, even the garbage dump of Mumbai the mangrove lies buried under the garbage dump. We have to take care of it, especially mangroves. And mangroves are like the shield of Mumbai and other marine cities what we have. And we have to protect it for our future, not for anybody else.
The Aarey Forest, a verdant strip that lies at the heart of India's bustling Mumbai city, has lost almost 2,500 plus trees for an infrastructural project that locals still feel isn't thought through.
The Save Aarey movement is a historic struggle. It is the longest ongoing battle by any citizen, any city in the world to save its forest. What are the takeaways? We still do not know whether the metro shed will be built there or no, but the fact is that the government will think 10 times before doing anything like this in future. In 2014, we asked the Bombay High Court to put the value on a tree. We pushed that question. We said, never mind, you cut as many trees as you want, you tell me the value of the tree. The court, fortunately, the Chief Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court today is sitting and saying, ask the government, you come back and tell us the value of it. Then you will realize that what you are cutting down is much more precious than what you are building. Who stopped the metro? No one stopped the metro. We said we support the metro. The question was whether a service center which will take 50,000 liters of groundwater inside a forest, cutting down 4,000 trees, destroying wildlife, should be allowed when there are 7 barren options available. That is the question.
About 17% of the Amazonian rainforest has been destroyed over the past 50 years, and losses recently have been on a rise. The main cause of the Amazon forest was the slash and burn approach to deforest land for agriculture and effects of global warming around the world. Infrastructure is an important part of development, but so is environment. Cutting of trees for the purpose of infrastructural growth causes the environment to degrade. Environmental concerns are not always considered during the design, planning, and construction of infrastructural projects. We can and we must rethink our approach to development, what it looks like, what it's delivering, and how it's meeting our needs, to ensure that it's useful for people and less harmful to wildlife.
We should understand that we are only one of the organisms in this whole world. We do not own this world.
If your development doesn't include the flora and fauna around you and your own happiness and health, it is absolutely no-go.
Environment is the main concern of everybody. Important is the climate change. Climate change, we have to immediately address the issue of climate change. It is affecting our fish, our marine things, and also our agricultural pattern, everything we are affecting. So, main issue is the climate change. We have to address the climate change issue first.
There is environmental degradation happening, but what we as individuals are doing, we as people are doing, what government should do, what society should be doing is beyond our control. And everybody thinks that somebody else will do it, and nobody knows who is that somebody.
Saving nature is not for birds and butterflies, it's for our future. For especially the water regime, the forest, the rivers, the catchment area, the Western Ghats are basically where the fresh water comes, and civilization like Mumbai requires fresh water. We don't have fresh water around us, it's all sea. So we have to protect these regimes, and this water comes from the forest, and that's the reason we need to protect forest. And where is the clean air, oxygen comes from the forest. So we Mumbaikars have to hang on whatever the green spaces we have and not let anybody encroach upon it, because these are our precious possessions and we'll have to keep it for our and our coming generations. Thank you.
In the coming few decades, it'll be the furthest that the earth could control its agony, and everything that we forced down her throat would at last come back for us. However, the future isn't totally in vain. If we decide right here and right now to rise up our nature, the man-made concrete ash that we buried her under. Now it's up to us to take action. We have the opportunity to make a change.
Planting trees helps us to promote biodiversity. It also helps us to breathe better. With so many trees destroyed, we must do what we can to restore them.
Use public transport, carpool with others, ride a bike, or walk to places that aren't very far. When you choose to travel using these methods, less greenhouse gases go out into the air to heat the earth.
Growing your own food is a fun and a therapeutic experience. Food that is bought from the locally produced market or homegrown is chemical free and much more healthier.
Plastic water bottles cover a vast number of landfills that destroy the land, kill animals, and which also do much harm to the planet while contributing to pollution and unsightly litter. Promote the use of reusable shopping bags, which might be quite trendy and help in reducing the use of plastic and paper bags, which most likely will be thrown away later.
Second-hand shopping keeps you from contributing to the mass production of goods and items that are ruining the environment by abusing natural resources.
This biodiversity loss that we now witness is not just a tragedy. It's the single most biggest problem we face. Without biodiversity, the world as we know it doesn't work. Our planet needs its wild spaces. Everyone is a component in the global machine. And only if they all are healthy can the planet survive. A less wild world is less able to provide for our needs. Biodiversity equals stability, and stability is what we require. We can still make these amends. We can still make a change. So let's all be the change.